You ready?
Hmm? You're a character, man. Okay.
What's up, everybody? Will you? Hey, this one's to your marriage, right? We believe in relationship. We believe in marriages. We believe in strong couples. We married young, and and we're staying strong. So we want you to do the same. Listen, this one. I think this video will help you out. All right. You cannot be your best in the relationship if your battery is low. Think about it. You know, cars. If the battery's low in the car's not going to perform to the best of its ability. If a flashlight battery is low, it's not going to shine as bright. The marriage is the same thing. We expect a lot from our partner, right? How can you expect a lot if their battery goes low? So you need to find out how to detect when their battery is low, that they need to be recharged. A lot of times we say, my wife is drama, or your husband may be drama. It's not so much that they're drama and that they have all those challenges. It may just be that they're worn out, that they need to be recharged. Because I'm not going to perform to the best of my ability if I need to be recharged, if I need some time off, if I need a vacation, if I'm just been worn out and had a tough week, if I'm tired, you know, I'm not going to perform to 100% level. I may be performing at 10%.
Or not even, or even just, you know, I know for me, just speaking from my end, you know, I know Tim need to be recharged sometimes when we have like our bad seasons. I'm just fussing, I'm nagging, I'm all day, constantly. Then I would say, I used to say he shuts down on me, he don't love me, he don't care. And I had to realize, okay, he needs to be recharged. He's been taking abuse from me day after day after day after day, you know. So. And
I was good at making lists about SeMonne. So I'll be like, man, she's not doing this, she's not doing that, she's not doing this over here, without realizing that she has been doing that stuff, but she's now feeling low, like she needs to be encouraged now. She needs some time off, right? She needs that vacation so that she can come back and be the wife that I know she is in the relationship. And a lot of times we don't give each other a break, or we don't make excuses for each other, right? So we would rather complain and point out the flaws without saying, hey, they may be weak. Let me see if I can make them strong.
Right.
So this episode is dedicated on, we're going to give you 5 tips to recognize signs that your husband or wife,
or
your spouse needs to be recharged. Your mate needs to be recharged. How do you recognize that? So the number one thing is look at the emotional changes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a clear sign that they're low.
Like if I'm angry, if I'm sad, if I'm, you know, anything out the norm, there's something going on with me.
Yeah, if you're depressed, if they're walking around depressed,
yeah,
you know, and an easier thing would say, oh, you're always angry. You're always, why are you always sad?
Are you always think negative? Are you always this and always that?
Yeah.
You know.
That's a sign that man, they need to be recharged. So here's the challenge now, is when you recognize each of the signs that we're going to give you, your responsibility, when you recognize one of these in your spouse, your responsibility is to recharge your spouse. You can't complain about it no more. We're going to take that away from you, and we're going to say, now you are the outlet for your spouse to plug into, right? When you recognize these signs, you got to think about how you're going to recharge your spouse, right? So the first one is the emotions. That's a clear sign. That's a clear indicator that the gas tank is on E, right? How are you going to fill that gas tank back up? So if they're angry, sad, all that stuff, their gas tank is on E, all right? They need to be recharged. Their battery is low. Number 2 is the sleep habits. The sleep habits change. If you recognize sometimes your spouse doesn't get enough sleep, and sometimes they sleep too much, right? And we'll say, man, your sleep habits are off. And it may be because they need to be recharged. They're going through a lot. There's a lot on their mind. They're thinking a lot. They don't want to deal with things, and so they're up all night or they're sleeping all through the day. And those kind of sleeping habits is a clear indicator that their battery is low.
And to remember, please remember, when they need to be recharged, do not take it personal. Do not make it about you as much as you can. Because once you bring you in the situation, that person cannot get charged. Because it's always me.
Yeah, now we're at each other's throats.
And now we're fighting. Now I done made myself part of the problem, you know?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even about me in the first place. Yeah.
Number 3 is your spouse isolates themselves. Right? So when a clear sign that they need to be recharged is where they go and escape and don't want to be bothered with anybody. Right. You know?
And yeah. I would like just to say, because that's me. Like when I'm going through a lot, or I just need a minute, or need to recharge, I'll isolate myself, which is totally out of my character. At least, especially in my home. I love being around my kids. I love being around Tim. I'm always like, family time. Let's do something as a family. Let's talk. You know, just anything. Yeah. And so I'll isolate myself. I'll go in my room. I'll close my door, and I'll just lay there. You know. Yeah.
And then number 4. Is when you notice your partner is being short fused. You're like short tempered, like anything sets them off. So you're like, man, it was something small and you just jumped off the handle. Mm-hmm. And I could take that as a negative and say, man, you're always snapping. Why don't you just? Or I could be understanding and say, you're short fused. Oh, okay, that's an indicator that your battery is low.
Right.
That you need to be recharged. Let me stop pushing you. You know, I had a Cadillac that the warning light was going off saying, service the engine, service the engine, service the engine. It wasn't, I would never service the engine. And it wasn't until I was driving on the highway that the car shut off on me. It wouldn't even go any further because I had neglected the sign saying service the engine. It wouldn't go any further. As much as I pushed on the pedal for it to go, it wouldn't go. And that's the same thing in a marriage, is that when I recognize a sign, they may be short fused, they may be jumping off the handle. When I recognize that, do I keep trying to push it to go? And if it stops going, if it's constantly showing these signs, that means they need service the engine. Right. And then number 5 is when your spouse is out of character completely. And this is interesting. They're either judgmental, very judgmental. They could be unforgiving. So they're talking about things that they're fed up with. That kind of language comes out of their mouth. I'm fed up. This person's always doing that and this or that. And you can't take that personal. Give them that time and that opportunity to start recharging.
I know for Tim, because he's a man of character. You know, he's real. You know, he tries his hardest to be, you know, a man of character. And so when Tim is acting out the norm, it's very noticeable, because that's not him. You know, when he comes at me, he's like, SeMonne, you know, why you do that? You know, he never says things like that. You know, so I know, okay, there's something else going on. You know, so I'm able to realize he needs to be charged. You know, or when he's ready to be like, just forget it, or, you know, that's not how he talks. That's not how he is. So that's out of character for him. You know, so it's red flags for me.
Yeah.
You know.
So recognize those signs. Those are 5 signs, and I want you to just look at your spouse and start to observe them over the next couple of weeks. Understand what signs are they giving off. These are signs that me and SeMonne have noticed with each other. You may be a little different. Your relationship may be a little different. But the one thing that is a commonality is that there is something in your relationship that is a sign that your spouse is fed up, that they need to just rest for a little bit, and you're that support system to give them that rest. All right, so over the next couple of weeks, just recognize that, observe it, make a note of it, and when those things occur, back off a little bit and give them time to recharge.
And I also I'm so excited for January 1st. I want everybody to continue to watch IWillWillU.com. So put in your email address, you know, and then when you get it, make sure you hit it back so you can get all the updates. We have something exciting going on for the new year for couples, for people with relationships. So you guys tune in, please tune in. Me and Tim are really excited, and we're glad that you guys are watching us today.
Right. So that's the end of this one. We'll see you next time.